horse, I did not answer, even though I knew the answer, because I wanted to say, half. ऐसे बोलता था मैं. So then how did that little anxious young man become this semi-arrogant person? No, Vijay, Jitu's nodding his head, you're not arrogant. I'll tell you what happened. I was in a school, what's it called? Prize distribution day. मुझे तो कोई प्राइज मिलने वाला ही नहीं था, इतना छोटा सा था. And I'm standing there in the choir. In the choir में खड़े हम लोग. गाना गा रहे हम लोग. And I had a big red bow made of paper, rouge, lipstick. क्यों करते थे बच्चे लोग के साथ ऐसे? Anyway, but that was the way I was standing there and singing. And my mother is sitting somewhere there. That lady is saying, no, I'm not your mother. My mother is sitting somewhere there. And she's smiling. And I'm looking at her, I'm saying, what's wrong with my mother? So after the performance, after the annual day got over, I went up to my mom and said, Mommy, why were you smiling so much? She's saying, Beta, first time in your life you were smiling. Oh. Right? And she figured out something. What did she figure out, my friends? She figured out a very important thing. She realized where I was happy. And where was that? On stage.
Okay.
She figured that thought and said, this kid is not going to understand maths and science because he's dyslexic and dyscalculic. I don't remember numbers even today. You ask me to say a number, what is this auditorium number? I don't know. I forget. I was told. I don't know. I go to the hotel. I go to the wrong room. I knock on the wrong room. Believe it or not, because I'm a number dyslexic. Sometimes I go to the wrong room on purpose, but we can't talk about that now. So how is this kid going to become successful if you're going to push him into a form that he does not understand or it does not register? There's a thing called OTP. 4 numbers to be remembered in one go? मैं तो पागल हो जाऊंगा. In the movie Dawn 2, Shah Rukh Khan has to ask me, अभी वरदान बधाई दे, वो नंबर का लॉकर का नंबर बता दो. So I would do the whole thing. देखो Dawn. अच्छा ठीक है, लॉकर का नंबर 4285. All the assistants come. Sir, it's not 4285. I said, I know. Because I'll never remember no matter how many times you teach me. I just can't remember a number. Of course, finally, the okay take, he told the art director, 1283. Go and put it over there on the thing, otherwise we'll never know what to do. So what was this kid going to do with his life? My mother understood that, and she sent me for speech training. She sent me to music classes. She sent me to the cinema every day. Every single day I used to go to the cinema. There was my cinema Paradiso right opposite my house, literally 40 feet across the road. And I used to see the posters and go crazy. And my mother used to send me every single day to the cinema. Which movie is running? Okay, Ben-Hur, Pyasa. What's running today? I would say, Ben, go see it again. I said, why? Go see it for different aspects of cinema, which you seem to understand, she told me. You seem to understand the storytelling devices. I see you perform it. I see you even moving like a camera, for cuts and things like that. I was a little kid. I saw a movie called Funny Girl at the Strand Cinema 36 times. Barbara Streisand's film. 36 times. And I'm telling you, it's the wrong number. It may be 42, it may be 29. It doesn't matter. But 36 sounds good. It has a rhythm. 36 times. You can say it dramatically. And the doorman, his name was Dara. He put the torch on my face. Yeah, tu kal bhi aaya tha. हाँ. Picture समझ में आता है? बोला नहीं. तो फिर आता क्यों है? मुझे मालूम नहीं. I'm drawn to it. I'm drawn to this the movie that I was too young to understand. The opening shot of the film is Barbara Streisand. You know, she enters in Broadway. She She's facing the New Amsterdam Theatre. You remember this? Say yes. New Amsterdam. याद रख के क्या कर रही है? The New Amsterdam, and all the public is going to the New Amsterdam Theatre. And so the opening shot of the film, it's from a low angle. She's wearing this wonderful leopard skin coat, and people are going inside, and that image is stuck in my head. But what happens is a reversal, and we'll talk about reversals today. All right? What is a reversal? She doesn't go into the theatre. The reversal is that she goes this way and goes behind into a dark alley and goes behind the theatre and enters from the artist's entrance, the stage door. Something about that excited me. Something about that made me feel, I know where I have to go in life. I want something. This is maybe what I wanted. I don't know. I was 11 years old. And my father before my mother and my grandfather before my father were shopkeepers. दुकान थी हमारी छोटी सी, वेफर बनाते थे आलू के. नॉर्थ में आलू बोलना पड़ता, बटाटा बोलते तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आता उन लोगों को, नॉर्थ वाले को. तो वहां पे मेरी माँ बैठती थी, and she used to sweat. I used to remember her blouse used to be sweaty all the way around. And that hot furnace is next door, and I used to sit on her lap, and customers used to come और यहाँ पे वेफर बनाते थे. There was a friend of my father, his name was Farooq uncle. Farooq uncle used to come and sit and ask mummy, कैसे चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है, we were कर्जे में थे, कर्जे में कितना पैसा you've paid back, things like that. And then he asked, novelty cinema में क्या चल रहा है? Novelty cinema में क्या चल रहा है? So before my mother could answer, I answered. I said, El Cid. El Cid. El Cid. Really? So my mother said, would you like to see El Cid? She's telling Farooq uncle. So he said, yeah, I would love to see El Cid. She said, Boman will take you. Can you imagine? I'm saying, really? Now, novelty cinema का पर्दे का दीवार बैक साइड और हमारी दुकान की भट्टी का दीवार वॉल कॉमन था. You could stick your ear and you could hear what's going on over there. Especially Helen के dances होते थे, मैं जाके सुनता था. और El Cid में my mother sent me with Farooq uncle. I held his hand. He was an old man. I held his hand and took him to novelty cinema. And I sat with him and told him the story. Why did I have to tell him the story? While it's going on. He was blind, you see. Now what my mother did in that one moment to an 11-year-old child who did not have confidence, she empowered me to tell stories, to tell a blind man. And I told him in his ear. And now Charlton Heston is sitting on the horse. They have bound him. They have tied him. There's an arrow, 2 arrows inside his chest. They've broken the arrow and he's dead. And now he will ride the army and he'll lead the army. But his horse is going into the water, into the sea. Because if they had told the army that your leader is dead, they would never have marched. And I'm telling him that story. I'm crying. Farooq uncle is crying. And I'm telling the story. I knew in that moment that someday I will tell a story. I knew in that moment. You see what I'm saying? I grew up. I did a lot of things. And when I was 35 years old, after I became a waiter, I won't go into that. After I became a dukandar, because I had to leave my waitering job, I'll tell you a little about my opening, my interview as a waiter. I went to Taj Mahal.